Welcome to Legacy Channels. My name is Mosimili Oluwashoye. I'm the presenter for today. For a while, we've been looking at faults, sins, and errors in service unto God. I've been discussing with Daddy here, Reverend Oluwademiga Oluwashoye, and I trust you've been having a wonderful time. You're welcome again, Daddy.
Thank you so much. Viewers, I'm glad to be back with you.
We are also glad to have you here. Yes, so let's just go to our next question. If I, as a friend, I notice, okay, probably my friend is under discipline in church, probably he has been punished, maybe suspended from the workforce, and is it okay for me as his friend to separate from him or her?
If your friend is under discipline, it depends on what type of discipline it is, though, as long as it is not excommunication. Of course, there's no reason why you should separate from him. As a matter of fact, most of the time, when somebody falls into an error, most people want to separate from them because they have things to hide themselves. You know, a lot of times we all have issues in our lives that we cover up, and we don't want exposed. So when somebody is being disciplined, you're afraid of getting too close to him so that the searchlight will not come upon you, you know. Sure. So it's only if you have issues like that. Normally, there's no reason why you should stay away from your friend. As a matter of fact, when somebody's under discipline, he needs a lot of support. He needs a lot of love, care, support, assistance, prayer, you know, anything you can do to help such a person in humility. The Bible is very, very specific about that. Whatever you do with him at that time, it has to be in humility, recognizing that what has happened to him is not unusual. It's a common thing that is common with man, that he had fallen into a fault. Anybody could have fallen into a fault, and many people do fall to faults, and they find a way of covering it up, and people don't get to know. So if he is going through that experience, don't pity him, don't despise him, don't insult him, encourage him, befriend him.
Don't pity him. Don't despise
him. Don't
disrespect.
Don't humiliate him. Don't misbehave to him because he's under discipline. But don't also despise the discipline. Don't castigate the leadership. Don't backbite leadership who is disciplining him. You know, you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
A situation where you go to discuss together and you despising leadership, say don't mind them. No. Let him understand the gravity of what took place. Let him appreciate what is being done. But you stay with him as a friend. Encourage him, challenge him to get out of it and move into some other better thing for his life.
But what if he is reacting?
Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. As a friend who loves God, who is a part of fellowship, and who has a desire for eternity, you must rebuke him for for reacting. The worst thing you can do when an error has taken place is to react. What are you reacting for? You should talk with him as a friend, frankly. You don't need to react. You should celebrate leadership for disciplining you. Discipline is one of the greatest things that can ever happen to you. Fathers, that's what the Bible talks about in Hebrews chapter, is it not chapter 13 now? No, chapter 12. It spoke about we having leaders, having our fathers who discipline us.
A fellow worker, you know, we have been talking about a friend. If my friend falls into error, what if it's just a worker, a fellow worker, we don't really have a relationship, what should my disposition be about discipline that was meted out to a fellow worker?
Yeah, the relationship is a little different, but the standard, the procedure, the issues are the same. The Bible says if a brother is overtaken in the fault, those of you who are standing should help to bring him up. But everything you do it in humility. So we must deal with arrogance in us. The challenge of imagining that you are holy is impure is something you must deal with. You know, we are not holy because we are good. We are righteous because Jesus died for us. And so the fact that he is under an experience of discipline does not make him less than me. So I should have that disposition. So in view of that, I should not despise him or her. I should not insult him or her. I should not hold guilty whom God has forgiven. You know, when people make mistakes, they go before God and God forgives them. So if God has forgiven him, then I should forgive also and forget about it. Shift attention from that past. Yes. And the earlier that person is able to get over it. Most times people like that are dealing with the guilt. He's still, you know, feeling, oh, I've done this, I've done that. So if you see him in that again, you are adding to the sorrow. Whereas what you need to do is let him get out of it. You encourage him. You pretend as if you not pretend now, but you take it off your mind and just talk about some other good issues with the person. So it's all right for you to shun him and not relate with him and not want to have anything to do with him. No, it's not right.
Okay, and but what if I am aware that the sin he is being punished for is not, probably he was wrongly convicted, or probably there was an error?
Okay, yeah,
what do I do?
That happens actually. For me as a leader, when people are involved in issues like that and it is brought up and the investigations are done and the facts are not, I mean, they are sketchy, they are not very clear, very dicey, and the person keeps saying, I didn't do it. You know, I don't want to punish him for a sin he has not committed. So I would like to punish, I would recommend punishment for that person, not for the sin, but for the fact that he was careless, that people could assume that he did what he didn't do. You know, the fact that people could allege that you did something already shows you were careless. For instance, why would somebody say you committed fornication if not that you did some dirty things? Like for instance, I mean, you went to visit a lady alone at some odd times, and the lady said you slept with her, and then you said you never slept with her. If you were careful in your relationship, if you were, you know, if you walked circumspectly the way the Bible asks us to walk, the lady should not be able to bring up that kind of report about you. If she does, people will say, no, we were there together. They're not supposed to go to meet that lady all alone in the first place.
Yeah.
So there should be some people who should be able to say, no, that didn't happen, I was there. So the mere fact that the lady brought up the accusation and there was nobody who could defend you, you're already guilty. So before I I sanction or punish that person as a leader, I'll tell him, look here, I'm not punishing you for doing it. I'm punishing you for allowing such accusation to come up against you. So if you didn't do it, I leave that one since you said you didn't do it. But at least the mere fact that the report came at all, you are liable for punishment. So the person knows what he's being punished for. Meanwhile, when such a discipline is going on, we need to communicate to everybody. Let them know why that person is being disciplined. And, we need to carry people along so that they know what it's about if it's going to be that kind of punishment. So if the person who is your friend now is in such a situation, that's the dimension you will need to go also. And I love to tell people, even if you didn't do this thing and they allege that you did it and you are being punished for doing it, it is for your good. It is for your good. Now you didn't do it, you are being punished for it. Yes. You see, part of the problem with the church is that we are so egocentric, we are so self-centered, we think about ourselves and we want to do everything by ourselves. There's God dimension in this matter. Somebody told a lie against me some years ago, said I stole his money and all of that. And I had evidence to fight, to come out publicly and publish and say, this guy is telling lies. I wanted to publish. God said, who sent you? Keep your evidence and throw it somewhere. I can take care of that story. And I just ignored. He said I should ignore, and I ignored and left it like that. I mean, stories like that will disappear somewhere. God can handle it. Sometimes you need to just allow yourself to suffer for things you didn't even do. It will toughen you and straighten you, help you for tomorrow. So if the leadership has decided that you should go through that discipline, accept it. Don't complain. Just accept it. Go through it for the glory of your tomorrow. It will amaze you the impact that will do on you. Isn't it in the Bible? Didn't you read about Joseph? Joseph was called an adulterer, a rapist, something he never did. He never even conceived it in his head. But he good enough, he didn't even have power to defend himself. And he went to jail. But was it not from jail he went to the throne? Let God vindicate you. I think that's what I can say about that.
Thank you, sir. Viewers at home, we'll be right back.
Ìdáhùn dé sí gbogbo ìbéèrè. Answer Bible Church lolúwa sọ̀dọ̀ ìdáhùn sí gbogbo ìbéèrè ọmọ aráyé. O fẹ́ lówó, o fẹ́ kọ́lé, ọmọ ló fẹ́ bí àbò fẹ́ rè lú òyìnbó. Ẹ̀bùn ẹ̀mí mímọ́ tààrà ló nílò. O jẹ́ wá kí bàbá Reverend Olúwagbémiga olówó sọ yóò sàsọtẹ́lẹ̀ sáyé rẹ̀. Kò lè bẹ́gbẹ́gbẹ́ kò lè bọ́gbàtò. Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ dé, ẹ̀mí òkùnkùn ẹ̀bìlà. Tani jakó warapa níwájú akúnyányán. Fùlẹ́ńgẹ́ iná dà níwájú omi àdúrà. Ayélémi títí Musa débi ìsinmi o. The Answer Bible Church ní number 1 Answer Way Ògúndépò off Ẹgbẹ́dá Àtúbà Road. Lẹ́bàá Muslim níre tèmi wá. Ìsìn ọjọ́ ìsinmi lédè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì. Aago 8 sí 9 àbọ̀ òwúrọ̀. Ìtọ́nisọ́nà mímọ́ pẹ̀lú ìwé mímọ́. Láago 9 àbọ̀ sí 10 àbọ̀. Ìsìn lédè Yorùbá. Láago 10 àbọ̀ sí 12 gán. Lọ́jọ́ ìsinmi. Ẹ̀wẹ̀. Agbára ìsọdọ̀tun ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ajé Monday 6 to 7 a.m. àti nírọ̀lẹ́ ọjọ́ ajé kan náà 6 to 7:30 p.m. Ìjìnlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ deep teaching di every Wednesday. Ọjọ́rú 6 to 8 p.m. Bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ọjọ́ ẹtì tó gbẹ̀yìn nínú oṣù. Last Friday of every month ní ṣọ́ọ̀rù agbára wa. Gbogbo ẹ̀ nínú ìjọ wa The Answer Bible Church number 1 Answer Way Ògúndépò off Ẹgbẹ́dá Àtúbà Road via Muslim Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Jesus ni Olúwa.
Welcome back. Yes, let's just continue this discussion. I'm really having a nice time. So, sometimes I am aware. Let's just paint the scenario. Maybe I'm aware of something that someone did. I might even have been the one that actually reported it to the leadership.
Okay.
And they conducted their investigations and they were not convinced. So at the end of the day, they just dismissed the story. They just, in that kind of situation, I know what happened. What do I do?
Yeah. You see, actually, if I'm in leadership, normally I don't just throw out issues like that. I believe that there's an element of truth in any subject, but the way it will be handled will be different. All right, so sometimes when it looks like leadership have not taken any action, that does not mean they didn't take any action. There are various grades of actions to be taken depending on what happened and how involving it was, and then who it was also. So the leadership can decide that the correct thing to do is to reprimand that person, and they call the person, talk with the person, and all of that. And you may not be involved in that. So the fact that they didn't do anything publicly does not mean that something did not happen. Now, meanwhile, when you bring up a subject of an error to leadership, avoid a situation where you are playing the role of the devil, the accuser of the brethren. You are not accuser, you are a helper of the brethren. You are trying to help the person, you are trying to help the church, you are trying to enhance the growth of the Church of Jesus Christ and promote the kingdom of life. You are not helping the kingdom of darkness to destroy somebody. So it shouldn't be a matter of vendetta. They must deal with him. We must show him in this church. No, that's not the subject here. The subject is that a brother or a sister is in danger, and you are helping him to get out of danger, and your interest is for the kingdom of God to blossom and to do well. So when you are praying, it's a subject you will pray about. It's a subject you are trusting God about, and it's between you and God. So when such an issue comes up and you bring it to the leadership and they have taken a decision, be satisfied with what they have done, and you just go on and pray for that person, keep on praying for the person until God finishes the process. The process of God's work in our lives doesn't finish in one day. Sometimes there will be other events that will still happen later that would also fall on that to help finish him, build him up and perfect him. Let me not use finish. It's perfection. Perfecting him unto the glory of God. So it's not necessarily that they have to do what you want. Leaders are not representing, they are representing us, but they are representing God first. So whatever God wants them to do, that's what they're going to do.
Thank you, sir. So, we have looked at what I should do as a friend. We have looked at what I should do as a co-worker. Now, if I am the leader,
okay,
and the report is brought to me,
yeah,
what am I expected to do?
Yeah, that's a big one. It depends on what it was. For instance, the Bible says, take no accusation against a leader except by 2 or 3 witnesses.
Yes.
Those are scriptures. If somebody is a leader and someone is bringing a report against that person, definitely there must be 2 or 3 witnesses before you even take any action. But having said that, the moment there's a report, you register it in your brain and you begin to pray for that person. You begin to pay attention to that person and find a way of helping the person so that he doesn't even fall in that direction. Oftentimes when there are accusations in the church today, we have all kinds of believers, people who lie, false, who are very false. They would, even in the, you almost caught them red, and then they will still tell you nothing happened. Yes, and they claim to be believers. It's strange actually, because the truth of the matter is that if we are genuine believers, we don't deceive. Every liar shall have their place in hellfire. Yeah. So a believer should be straightforward. You fell into an error, they found you out. You shouldn't even wait for them to find you out before you cry out that I have a problem. Now, but if people have found out and they confronted you, you should be excited. Even though you are not happy for your sin, but you are happy that they found you out to help you. And you open up to them. You know, it's like every sin is like snake bite. A snake bite will kill if it's not addressed. Every sin is like a gunshot. The blood is dripping out. The faster it goes, the faster life ebbs out of you. So if people discover it and they are trying to help you, be excited and be quick to allow them to help you. All right. So if I'm a leader in that situation, the first thing is I pray. 2, I will investigate on that matter. Is it true? Sometimes the first thing might be to talk with the person involved also. You know, it depends on so many things. I think that's the only answer I can give now about that.
Well, what if the person actually came to report himself?
Oh, that's wonderful. That's the easiest one. That's the easiest one. If the person came and told me what he did, good. So the first thing is take him on a process of prayers between me and God and himself, and we settle that issue of sin. And after that, then I will find out the details of what he did. I'll find out, is it just what he told me? Because people, the fact that somebody comes to meet you does not mean that they are actually genuinely honest. There might be some other people pressuring him to go and say something, and he just comes and says one small fragment of many other things that are happening. So, and if you think you are helping him, you haven't started at all. So you need to also put your ear on the ground and ensure that that's exactly what happened. So if the person is sincere and he has brought up the entire situation as it was, then you now view it before God, asking God questions how best to handle it. For instance, if a man or a woman has been in immorality, then you now ask God, how do I go about this? There are issues involved. Don't I need to discuss with the spouse? And things like that. And you don't know how best to handle what, except you are in the presence of God. Yeah.
Wow, it has been a very splendid time with you, sir. I really appreciate your coming here.
Praise God.
Our time is fast spent. I would have loved for us to continue this discussion.
Such is life. Time is never enough.
It's never enough, actually. Our viewers, I'm sure you had a wonderful time. Join us next episode for another amazing one. I know that you have learned a lot from this discussion. Sin is deadly. It can destroy you. Work with your leader. Allow them flush it out of you. Allow God to work on you. And I know that it shall be well with you. Please have a wonderful day.